abundance of oyster shells. This heaping mound is known as Shell Pile, which can be found right outside of the small town of Port Norris in southern New Jersey. This smelly sight consists of oyster shells piled high outside of a local shucking station. Years ago, oysters and clams were plentiful along with caviar in the Delaware Bay. On average, about 80 train cars full would be delivered to and processed along the coast of South Jersey. Unfortunately, in 1957, a disease known as MSX was at fault for killing about 90% of the oyster and clam population. The shells you will see stacked today are mainly harvested from Long Island Sound. Moving along the southern coast of the Delaware Bay is what once was known as the caviar capital of the world, or Bayside as locals still refer to it today. While sturgeon was still plentiful in the Delaware Bay, freight cars transported caviar from the bay's processing facilities. In 1990, the amount of sturgeon rapidly decreased due to overfishing. The once thriving establishments suffered destruction from a fire in November of 1914. Bayside never fully recovered and continued to deteriorate throughout the years, storms only adding to the destruction. Until several years ago, a dock and a small cabin still stood in the marsh, but collapsed. Today, all that remains are pilings and remnants of the railroad, which are visible during low tide. The remaining rail tracks are buried in the marsh with only several increments of the tracks showing, which have obvious corrosion due to the salty, brackish water of the bay. On a clear day at Bayside, in the distance, you may catch a glimpse of Ship John Shoal, a lighthouse which marks the north side of the ship channel by the Bombay Hook. This octagonal structure presents a white and red light, sounding a bell and horn periodically as a warning to be heard during immense fog when the light is not visible. Ship John Shoal still serves great purpose to these traveling the Delaware Bay, as it has since 1877 when it was constructed. Made almost entirely of cast iron, this sturdy structure shall continue to guide for years to come.
On the outskirts of Greenwich, New Jersey, you will find Hancock Harbor, a marina used mainly by local crabbers and fishermen. It is home to the seasonal Bait Box restaurant. Once inside, you can feel the eerie vibe it portrays. The marina attracts more than just the locals, for upon the entrance sits a large, mysterious oddity. At first glance, you may think this is once a submarine or some type of underwater vessel, but it is an attraction from Monty's Pier, once a ride in the Planet of the Apes attraction.
Roadside attraction, a giant-sized elephant-shaped building, 65 feet high and weighing in at 90 tons.
Her ears weigh 2,000 pounds each. She's made up of over 1 million pieces of wood.
She's entertained thousands of men, women, and children for 128 years.
It's an awesome thing to see a 5-year-old or 6-year-old walk up to this 6-story elephant and look at it, and her mouth drops wide open. And the questions that come out of kids' mouths, what do you feed her? Is she real? That's what makes the job worthwhile.
Built in 1881 by developer James Lafferty, who thought the giant-sized elephant would attract buyers to his southern Atlantic City properties. While Lucy was popular, she didn't sell much real estate, so Lafferty decided to sell the elephant to the Gertsen family. Sophia Gertsen is the one who named the elephant Lucy.
Once a childhood attraction in the 1920s, it was the Chuck E. Cheese of its time, adorned with a pink exterior and a rainbow spiral staircase. Now, today, it is closed down with a fence around it and a gloomy old woman who lives in a shoe posted outside. As you drive past, the giant mushroom in the parking lot and Humpty Dumpty staring down from his wall are really something to see. The park had multiple scenes depicting different stories, but it closed down in 2003, and the elements really took their toll on Mother Goose, Rapunzel, and the pumpkin carriages. If you have a chance, this is really something you should visit.
Beyond the stretching fields along Shepherd's Mill Road, just before entering a thick section of woods, is a road less traveled, known simply as Cemetery Road. Upon immediately turning onto the cemetery road lies a small cemetery sunken into the edge of a field. Most of the headstones are dismantled, eroded, and crumbling, except for the one fairly new large headstone placed at the edge of the cemetery. It has been said the surrounding area was a part of the Underground Railroad at one time. The large new stone placed among the old decrepit stones reads, 1710, site of Cohansey Baptist Church, Reverend Timothy Brooks, pastor 1710 to 1716. Frame church erected 1714, another in 1741, moved to Rhodestown 1801. Deborah Sweeney Nee Smith, first white child born in this area, born 1683, buried here April 4th of 1760. The cemetery contains a various amount of stones, some of which date back to the 1700s, others with no marking at all. The stones are scattered randomly on the uneven mossy ground. Some were even found in the woods that edged the cemetery.
The Pullen-Scale Viaduct is the largest structure of its kind, with over 1,000 spray paintings. Also called the Hamsburg Trestle, it is a long abandoned railroad bridge over the Pullen-Scale River near Blairstown, New Jersey. When first constructed in 1908, it was considered to be one of the wonders of the world. For a brief period of time, the reinforced concrete arched bridge was the largest structure of its kind and in the entire world, at 1,100 feet long and 115 feet above the river. This structure is the only legal place for spray painting in New Jersey, as you can see here. Artists will come, paint over the entire wall, and paint a huge mural or depiction of their gang on it. As you walk down the stairway, ghouls and ghosts appear everywhere. This section of concrete along the Memorial Highway in New Brunswick, New Jersey, is a hub for spray painters, but unlike the viaduct, it is illegal to spray paint here. Closed down with a very large fence and lock, it was also a home for many homeless people. No wonder they closed it down. This cliff jumping spot near the Delaware River used to be a quarry, but when they struck natural groundwater, the whole thing filled up and it became this beautiful blue lake that it is today. The slate rock was perfect for the cliffs, and many kids like to go cliff jumping here, as shown. Many other blue holes appear in New Jersey as well, but in the southern part of the state. These are not slate, they are sand-based and have sugary sand bottoms, perfect for keeping in heat. Used to be concrete quarries and glass quarries. These are very picturesque, look like an oasis. They are full of minerals and pink sand and have very, very, very few rocks. These lakes, while very beautiful, are also very deadly. They are made of the sugary sand and, as you can see, drop off very rapidly. Kids use these lakes as a way to cool down from the summer heat, and many kids ultimately meet their demise when they drown. Some say that people are pulled down by the Jersey Devil, although this has never been proven. Police have to go out in scuba gear and attempt to find the bodies, although many of them are never found. So if you do go into these blue lakes, use precaution and always swim with a buddy. There's even some cases of weird New Jersey in our own backyard right here in Rowan. Many people say that Bunce Hall is haunted by one or many ghosts. Some people say it's one, some people say it's 6. People have felt weird presences, door slamming, and cold drafts in the building, even if all the windows are closed. It is up to you guys to decide if Bunce Hall is haunted or not. Thank you for watching our presentation, and we hope you guys explore on your own. Have fun and be safe.